Good day, everyone. Welcome to Miss Reyes class. Are you ready to have fun in this learning session? What are we going to learn for today? In today's class, we will learn the causes of poverty. So you have to prepare your module, notebook, and pen to easily follow on to the discussion. So this is the part 2 of causes of poverty. You have already know that poverty is a complex problem. That's why we're talking about it right now. And there are many aspects to it and it has many causes. We need to understand its causes para makapag-focus na po tayo dun sa solutions na pwede nating mai-provide. So, the most widely used poverty definition focuses on the economics. So, we have already tackled it together with environmental. So, kung sakali na you're watching this without finishing the first video regarding the causes of poverty or the part 1, please watch it para maging smooth yung discussion natin at hindi kayo nalilito. But as for now, let's discuss the healthcare, governance, and demographic and social factors. So let's begin with healthcare. So sa healthcare po, bakit kaya siya nasama sa causes of poverty when in fact it could be a result of poverty na rin, 'di ba? So dalawa yung phases ni healthcare, no? Hindi lang siya nagko-cause ng poverty but it also a result of poverty. Na-remember niyo po yung poverty trap na pinag-usapan natin on the last videos, di ba? Nagkakaroon tayo ng poverty trap kasi it has been a cycle from a parent unto the child. So, ganoon din si healthcare, no? So, meron siyang direct relationship with poverty na kapag tayo ay mahirap, syempre nagsasuffer dito yung ating healthcare. And kapag hindi natin naalagaan yung ating katawan, nagko-cause po ito ng poverty. Kasi yung katawan po natin, yun yung ginagamit natin para maghanap buhay. So kapag 'di ba nakakita naman tayo ng family na well off naman sila dati, pero because of their healthcare na hindi na pangalagaan, nagiging or from 'di ba, from riches nagiging poor sila. It's because or naging part sila ng poverty because of yung hindi na pangalagaan na pangangatawan. So, titingnan natin ngayon different aspects of healthcare. Let's start with inadequate nutrition or nutritional deficiency. So, ano nga ba ito? It is an inadequate supply of nutrients as vitamins and minerals in the diet resulting to malnutrition. So, ito po ay widely known or nakikita po talaga natin on the poverty lying areas natin. Which yung mga bata, nakikita nyo, di ba, yung lalaki yung tiyan, pero sobrang payat naman ng katawan nila. Ibig sabihin, they don't get enough supply of yung nutrients natin like yung mga vitamins and minerals. So, ang mga causes na ito, unang-una, nagko-cause ng nutritional deficiency is poverty. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, si healthcare po could be a result of poverty and could also be a cause of poverty. So, dito sa ating example, si poverty ay nagko-cause ng nutritional deficiency dahil kapag ikaw ay mahirap, di ba? Syempre, hindi mo na nabibigyan ngayon ng pansin yung mga dapat na masustansyang pagkain sana sa hapagkainan kasi ang naiisip mo na lang right now is to be able to surpass or survive the day. Yun lang yung naiisip mo because of poverty. So, this is not a joke to everyone, no? This discussion might be light, pero this is a serious problem na hindi natin ganun na-appreciate kasi maybe we are having complete meal a day, but yung mga meals natin a day is, 'di ba, something a blessing na para sa iba. Next is the cause of poverty. The cause of nutritional deficiency is the increasing food prices. So makikita natin because of inflation, nahihirapan ngayon yung mga tao to get yung kanilang nutritional foods because of mahal ang presyo, 'di ba? It causes a lot kapag bumibili tayo ng mga nutritional diets, yung mga organic na tinatawag, yun yung mga mahal okay? Because of the increasing food prices, they ought to have ngayon yung mga junks. Okay? So, that's the third causes of nutritional deficiency because of the easy access to nutritious foods like yung mga junks or yung chicheria, yung mga hindi naman ganun ka dami yung nakukuhang vitamins and minerals sa pagkain. Kasi yung mga sana nutritional foods like yung mga gulay, ganyan, hindi na natin na-access. Okay, bakit? Kasi because of overpopulation, yung mga pinagtatanim sana ng gulay, ginagamit na sila for residential areas. Yun yung mga nagko-cause of nutritional deficiencies sa mga tao. So, hindi lang poverty, no, may mga iba't ibang aspects pa. Pero malaki yung naging ginagampan ng role ni poverty dito. So, next natin, we also have weather and natural resources. So, bakit natin ito ulit sinasama dito sa topic na to na under the healthcare? So, natandaan niyo pa yung topic natin regarding climate change that resulted to more repeated extreme weather condition, 'di ba? Because of climate change, nagkakaroon tayo ng drought, yung pagtagtuyot, and also floods. Okay? So, these are manifested in El Nino and La Nina phenomenon. So, kung um, kayo ay aware sa mga ganon. So, this can actually damage crops, agriculture, livestock alike, and causing shortage in food, supply, and rising prices as well. Okay? So, makikita natin dito, kapag meron po tayong drought and water crisis, and also El Nino and La Nina and floods, di ba? Ito yung mga pagkakataon na yung mga residents from this area ay nangangailangan ng tulong kasi merong mga effects itong mga to kapag nangyayari yung weather and natural disaster sa mga tao. Especially sa kanilang health. Ano-ano yung mga effects? Number one is malnutrition ulit. Diba? Siyempre, because of yung mga nararanasan po nila, like yung napanood ninyong or pinanood ko sa inyo na um, documentary, okay, regarding the drought, okay, 'di ba? Dahil walang sapat na tubig, okay, sa lugar nila. Okay, tagtuyot din sa lugar nila. So, basic need ng tao yung pagkakaroon or having yung water since 70%, 'di ba, ng katawan natin composed of water. Pero paano pag wala 'yon because of drought or um El Nino na tinatawag natin, 'di ba? So kawawa naman po okay yung mga tao, hindi sila makakakuha ng sufficient nutrients and vitamins sana. Okay? Next is different illnesses na nakukuha through pag mga baha, 'di ba? So may mga diseases tayong nakukuha from floods tulad ng leptospirosis, ganyan. So even dengue, 'di ba, kapag laging umulan, madami yung mga nakakakuha ng ganyang sakit. So, alam naman natin kapag tayo ay nagkakasakit, kailangan natin gumastos. And kasi kung hindi natin gagastasan yung mga sakit po natin, then the tendency is mas lalong lumalala. That also causes poverty since yung pera sana na gagastusin natin for our healthcare ay magagamit natin pambili ng mga pagkain, di ba? So, nagagamit pa rin natin yun sa panggamot, no? So, the third effect is early death. Ayan. So, through the weather and natural disasters, like for example, yung mga tatay, ganyan, they're the breadwinners, 'di ba, ng family, pero nagkaroon ng weather and natural disaster. Ayan. So, makikita natin na may mga nalulost yung buhay ng kanilang family because of this weather and natural disasters. So, ayun natin itong mangyayari. It is related on the healthcare because yung buhay ng tao po, okay, ay salalay din, may malaking role din ang weather and natural disasters sa healthcare ng tao. So, hindi lang naman yung mga tao ang always at fault sa healthcare nila. Meron din po tayong mga tinatawag na natural disasters kung bakit may mga illnesses or healthcare problems yung mga tao. Next is poor access to affordable healthcare. Ayan. So, nagiging problem natin ito, okay? It's because Healthcare is the act of taking preventive or necessary medical procedures to improve a person's well-being. But because of poverty, syempre kapag tayo ay part ng poverty, hindi na natin naiisip, no? Yung pagkakaroon ng healthcare issues natin. Kasi kadalasan sa atin, mas pinipili na lang na bigyan ng pansin nga yung how are they going to survive for this day rather than yung mismong mismong buhay po nila yung titingnan nila or yung health po nila. So, because of this, yan, yung mga tao, because alam po natin, unfortunately, yung medicines and healthcare does not come cheap, no? Although there are public healthcare services, medication is still expensive, and for some reason, they would rather use their savings sa food rather than medical treatment. So, nakaka-relate po ba tayo doon na sometimes kahit na may masakit na sa atin, okay, pinipili natin or natatakot kasi tayo to seek medical medical views about yung nararamdaman natin because of baka mamaya sobrang laki ng magastos natin. Okay? So, some especially those in the rural areas, tulad natin, nasa provinces po tayo, okay? Hindi na tayo nagre-resort into yun nga, yung pagpunta sa doktor, kundi we're resorting into herbal medication rather than yung mga commercialized na prescriptive drugs natin na somehow hindi ganon ka-sure, 'di ba? Yung cure kapag ka sa mga herbal medicines lang kasi hindi natin mismo alam kung ano talaga yung ginagamot natin. Okay? Yung iba, ano ba yun, gumagamit lang sila ng mga dahon-dahon to cure, 'di ba? So hindi kasi siya 100% sure that can help kung ano man yung nararamdaman po natin. So another, okay, na pinag-uusapan natin when it comes to healthcare is what we call as diseases. So diseases is also known as illness. So due to pollution and unhealthy lifestyle, nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng maraming diseases. So yung some of the men experiences diseases due to yun nga pollution and environmental problems coupled with unhealthy lifestyle. Although some are preventable, again, if there is issue on the healthcare and the price of medication. So there is a need to continue improving resources efficiency and pollution control so that the standards of living can rise without negative impact. So alam naman natin that having pollutions, air pollutions, water pollutions can affect the health of us individual. Kaya sana okay, maging maingat din tayo dun sa ating lifestyle. Next, na kasama sa pinag-uusapan natin on the healthcare is the substance abuse. Ano ito? When we're talking about substance abuse, we're talking about drugs and alcohol addiction. Tayong mga kabataan, especially ang kasama sa problema na ito. So, I'm hoping na wala sa atin, no, yung merong drugs and alcohol addiction. Kasi, sabi natin dito, poverty is also caused by drugs and alcohol. Siyempre, no, makikita ninyo, if we're going to be observant, ang pinaka madaling maswade sa paggamit ng mga gantong substance or mga mahihirap, no? Kahit na wala silang makain, ginagamit pa rin nila yung pera nila, pambili ng kahit nga ano, sigarilyo, alcohol, and even drugs, di ba? So, makita natin that it has really a bad effects po sa atin. Okay, so they spend all their money on their addictions. Okay, that eventually lead to more problems and complication in the nearby future. Okay, so that is all for healthcare. Now we're going to move to another causes of poverty, which is governance. Okay, bakit ito nagkakos ng poverty? Unang-una, if we have weak rule of law. So we know that in the government, okay, Law are very important. It is essential for both government and it is essential for both the government po and yung ating private sector to have a good law foundation and method to place the guarantee responsibility and constancy, impartiality, and access to justice for all of us. So, kung tayo ay mga mabubuting mamamayan, sorry, kailangan natin ng good laws to protect us. Okay? Good laws guarantees, again, responsibility, constancy, impartiality, and access to justice for all. So, kailangan natin to. And when the rule of law is weak, it is difficult to be responsible businesses to operate in their illegal obligation and right to be protected. Siyempre, kung hindi maayos yung law or yung rule of law po natin, ano ang magpe-prevail palagi? Natatakot tayo na being someone na gumagawa ng tama if hindi naman pala yung justice ay nagpe-prevail dun sa surroundings natin or the environment po natin, then may isip ng iba na gawa na lang din ako ng masama. So, hindi naman pala hinuhuli yung mga masasama or gumagawa ng masama. But if you are responsible business, kadalasan ikaw yung talo kasi yung mga gumagawa, nagbar-bribery or gumagawa ng masama, syempre sila yung mas kumikita, no? Kasi nakapag-provide sila ng lesser amount of yung bilihin or benta kasi nga may mga masama silang ginagawa. So mahihirapan ngayon yung mga responsible businesses to be to continue yung kanilang business kasi their rights are not protected. So proper implementation nowadays are always questionable. Ang gaganda ng laws natin, no? Pero the problem is it implemented? Kasi if it's not implemented, then sayang lang yung mga laws na naisusulat po natin. So it's not always about the laws that are always ano yun, yung na-approve na laws or authored laws. It should be properly implemented. Kailangan din po natin maghanap ng mga leaders na can really implement yung laws na nagagawa po natin. Okay? So, weak rule of law. Okay? Since yung ating rule of law is always questionable, so there is some violators of the law, especially to the rich and those with connections, no, na nakaka-get away sila with their misdeeds. So there is indeed a need to strengthen the law para sana yung justice system natin would be fair for all, especially to the poor citizens who cannot even afford the service of a good lawyer in times of difficulty. Okay, so bakit ito nagkakos ng poverty? Of course, kapag weak yung rule of law po natin, the justice system cannot be trusted by the people in terms of protecting them from crimes. Okay, next natin is poor management of resources, revenues. Okay, so sustainable economic development can come from merely extracting resource. Okay, so yung mga authorities natin must invest revenues so that the current and future generation enjoy the bounty. We already know that yung ating yung mga yung environment natin or yung natural resources natin are not always sustainable. No, hindi yan palaging continuous or hindi yan forever if hindi po natin gagawan or the government ay hindi gagawa ng mga rules and regulation to protect them. So kung gusto po natin na yung mga revenues natin from our natural resources ay maayos, kailangan natin ng proper management. Okay? So problem ng ating government if walang maayos na management for our resources. So, natural resources are very special and unique. Bakit? Bakit natin sabi that they are special and unique in their own ways? Una, they are finite. Pag sinabi natin they are finite, they are non-renewable. Tulad ng mga katawan natin, di ba? Yung mga natural resources din natin are non-renewable. So, it does not renew by itself. It simply put one extracted and consumed. It cannot be replaced, and prime examples are coal, natural gas, and oil. Kapag ginamit na po natin sila, hindi natin sila marirenew, kaya kailangan gamitin natin sila with proper care and ma-manage talaga natin ng tama yung paggamit ng mga resources na to. Kasi pag ginamit mo na, hindi mo na sila pwedeng ibalik. They're not renewable resources. Next are, they are volatile. So, commodity prices are certain natural resources fluctuate according to market forces. Pag sinabi natin fluctuate, nagbabago-bago po sila ng presyo. Depende kung ano yung nangyayari sa market forces natin. The price of gasoline rises and fall according to demand and supply po natin. Siyempre, kapag kayong supply ay kakaunti, okay, yung demand ay mataas, then ibig sabihin there is a gap, there is a scarcity, may kakulangan, magtataas talaga ng presyo yan. So the challenge is how are we going to manage yung mga natural resources na ginagamit talaga natin in our day-to-day living, and as well as yung mga nakukuha nating revenues out of them. So, alam naman natin na through the natural resources na binibigay sa atin ng gas and coals, di ba, and minerals, ganyan, they provide revenues para sa atin. So, how are we going to manage them? Di ba? How is the government going to manage all those revenues from these natural resources, and how are we going to manage yung mga natural resources natin para hindi sila agad mawala. So, bearing in mind that these resources will not be renewed or multiply on its own, trees, for instance, once cut down will not produce another trees unless someone will plant and nurture it. So, part of the money generated from the sale of such resource could be used to replenish what was taken in the first place. So, sabi natin, we are earning from the natural resources. So, sana, kapag nag-earn tayo from our natural resources, ay nagagamit po natin yung part of our earnings sana para renew tayo, 'di ba? Hindi man natin ma-renew or mabalik sa buhay itong naputol nating puno, then we can replace them. Okay? So, why natural resources are special and unique? Una, they are finite, they are not renewable. Okay? Number two, they are volatile. Paiba-iba yung presyo ng mga yan. Kaya kailangan natin silang ingatan. Kasi kapag naging extinct or konti ang supply, nagtataas ang presyo. Okay? So, poor access to affordable education naman. Okay, tapos na tayo dun sa poor management of resource revenues. Now, we're going to talk about education. As I already always imply, education should be considered seriously. Are you considering it seriously? Really? Okay. Why do we need to do it? Okay? Bakit nga ba? Because a good training ground for students should start from the quality education. So this should prepare them with the right skills, talents, and discipline to face the various industries after earning a degree. So earning your degree does not just mean that you are educated, that you are matalino. Hindi lang yun nakukuha ninyo, no? So, we are also teaching you real life experiences. We are also exposing you to the world. Bakit mahalaga yung education? Kasi kung hindi kayo nag-aral ngayon, then hindi nyo nalalaman that there is a poverty trap. Hindi nyo malalaman na pwede kayong makawala sa poverty, na, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, this education, this proper education is not just about yung mga theories na nababasa niya sa libro. It also, di ba, it also shape you into a better person that gives you another skills and another perspectives of life. So, alam naman natin, okay, that education, without a doubt, okay, is expensive. Okay, without a doubt, it is really expensive. And yung mga tao, they look at education in two different ways. So, ano-ano yung mga different ways na yon? Una, they look at the education as an opportunity. So, ngayon, tingnan natin kung saan kayo nakatingin, no? Are you looking at the education as an opportunity, or are you looking at the education pessimistically or negatively? So, like for example, dahil sa hirap ng buhay, you're rather want to earn rather than to survive. okay, yung inyong education. Alam ko maraming mga working students right now that can really relate. Ano ang priority ninyo? Your work or your education? So, it could be a wake-up call para sa inyo kung ginagamit niyo palagi yung work ninyo para sabihin sa akin na, "Ay, ma'am, I cannot attend. Ma'am, I cannot do this. Ma'am, hindi ako nakakuha ng mataas na scores because of my work." So, now, look at the situation that you have now, knowing that the education that you are having right now is an opportunity sana, no, para sa inyo to learn more. So, sana hindi niyo ito ginagamit as skip to education because your education is should be considered seriously. Okay? So sana maging wake up call palagi itong subject na ito sa inyo as we are dealing with poverty, a serious problem. Okay? Poverty that can trap you in the entirety of your life, 'di ba? So sana magbago yung paningin ninyo about education. It must not just be because you wanted to earn a degree, but because you wanted to escape, or you wanted to provide another good life standard of living, not for just for yourself but for the future generation that will come into your way. Okay, so next natin, meron po tayo kasing mga individuals that are looking probably to discover, di ba? Hindi ko naman sinasabi kasi na kapag hindi nakapag-aral ay hindi na yayaman. Okay? So, may mga mahihirap pa rin na without proper education pero sila po ay yumayaman. Pero sabi natin dito, hindi lahat gano'n, no? Hindi natin, there's no security of that. So, kung gusto nating makaalis dun sa poverty trap, meron tayong, 'di ba? Meron tayong sure way on how are we going to go out of this. So, sabi natin, it must start from within, na sa atin mismo. So, the next discussion that we're going to tackle is about corruption. So, this is still under the governance. Okay, see, corruption is under the governance. So, one of the biggest socio-economic problems that contribute to poverty. So, abuse of entrusted power for private gain. So, si corruption is abuse dun sa power na binigay sa atin or binigay sa kanila ng mga private people like us. And it is dishonest as well as illegal behavior that destroys people's trust. Okay, so what does corruption have to do with natural resources and environmental management? Bakit nga ba, no? Ba't natin nire-relate na naman tong corruption na to sa ating mga environmental management? So sabi po natin, the environment kasi, okay, tulad ng deforestation, okay, damage to the environment, climate change and floods are results from yung mga corruptions na ginagawa natin like bribery, illegal logging, corruptions, and corruptions. Ayan. So, because of yung mga dishonesty na ginagawa ng mga people on the authority, ayan, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng mga environmental problems. Sila po yung regulatory po sana, kakampi sana ng environment po natin. But on some cases na hindi po nila nabibigyan ng pansin yung ating environmental problem kasi mas tumitingin po sila on their private gain rather than the gain of the whole sana, economy as a whole sana. Okay, so that's why we are always relating corruptions into um, yung ating environmental problem. So, sana tingnan yung mabuti yung mga politicians din that are pro-environment. At tingnan nyo kung sino ba talaga yung mga nakatulong on the government at hindi puro words lang or puro ano ba yun, sa campaign lang sila magaling, right? So, maging realistic po tayo. Yan yung mga actions na nagagawa nila and then tingnan natin if they're really helping kasi makikita natin that yung mga environmental problems natin causes poverty. So, kung ayaw na natin magstay sa pagiging mahirap, then we really need to do or create yung ating right. Okay? So, huwag niyo akong tanongin kung sino ating political, dahil hindi tayo political dito. We are just showing, okay, the reality of how the government and the environment are interrelated. So, next natin of causes of poverty, last na ito, no? Kasi para hindi na masyadong mahaba. The demographics and social factors. So, demographics and social factors or social welfare po natin. Meron tayong mga tinitingnan dito. We are looking at the overpopulation, the war, and individual belief and action or choices. When we're talking about overpopulation, syempre kapag may overpopulation tayo, more mouth to feed and more resources needed to meet their needs. Okay, so na-discuss naman na natin that through the demographics of overpopulation, talagang napakahirap. Mahihirapan po talaga yung ating environment to provide na lahat ng basic needs ng mga tao. Okay, so kung pwede or kung may magagawa tayo para hindi na tayo makadagdag sa overpopulation, then we should really act on it. And next is war. Kapag ka may war, tayo, it destroys the economy, including the business and agricultural sector. So, mapapansin natin, when a country is suffering war, di ba, nakikita natin yung mga destruction kung saan-saan. And then, of course, the money that we have saved is spent on wars and weapons of destructions kaysa sana dun sa mga importante sana na mga commodities natin. Pambili na sana ng pagkain, pang-improve na sana ng mga infrastructures, pero because of war, ayan, nagagamit natin yung mga savings natin into weapons. Okay? So, yun, nagiging problem po. Then, etong mga to, because of it deals or it resulted to poverty. So now, malapit na tayong matapos. So we are now into the conclusion of poverty, the relationship of poverty, and wait lang. The relationship of poverty and environment. So, we always relate, nakikita nyo na dun sa discussion natin, causes of poverty, kasama yun sa environment, the relationship, okay? We are now into the, to the ending of our discussion. So, makikita na natin on the 21st century, we have already witnessed the persistent major environmental transformation, including damage covering all sides of the planet. So, hindi na tayo blind dito sa mga truth na to or facts na to that we have shared the poverty and environment and other pressures and their relationship with each other. So, human population continue to expand. So, ibig sabihin, yung overpopulation talaga ay hindi natin nakokontrol. So, there is a demand for world resources kapag nagkakaroon ng overpopulation. So, yung environment natin are overused because of this. So, it will definitely puts pressure on the environment. And then, remember that resources are limited, whereas there are challenges to meet even the most basic needs for us to survive. So, makikita nyo dyan, on the figure, we have poverty, we have environment, and we have other pressures. So, poverty, okay, leads to environmental problems. Kapag mahirap po tayo, or we are part of the poor people, like for example, ano ba yung mga, ano natin when it comes to poverty, di ba? We have overpopulation, syempre. Next is inadequate understanding of the environmental problems. Hindi mo na yun pinapansin when you're in the poor areas, no? Kasi ang focus mo na lang is to survive. And lastly, there's poor waste management disposal, which leads to environmental problems. And also, the environment gives causes to poverty. Nakita nyo naman dun sa discussion natin. One of the causes of poverty is environment, no? So, ano yung mga yon kapag there is reduced of food production, ayan, this will lead to poverty, soaring prices, and then poor health. So, yun yung mga conditions kung bakit may relationship talaga si poverty and then si environment. So, alam natin, okay, na gusto nating lahat ang gusto lang naman nating lahat is magkaroon ng average standard way of living kung sakali man na ma-improve man lang sana, 'di ba, yung pamumuhay natin. Okay? So, what are we going to do with all of these things? Na alam naman natin that there is a way on how are we going to overcome poverty. So, sana may mga other pressures man, Ayan, may mga other pressures man tayong nararanasan to poverty and environment ay i-weigh po natin ng mabuti or alamin po natin how are we going to contribute to the environment para hindi maiwasan na natin yung environmental problems, sustainable way of living. I am encouraging everyone that if someday you're going to start a business, please take care of the environment because it will lead to poverty if not taken care of. And there are other pressures that will also lead to poverty pero sa environment po kasi it really causes a lot of poverty problems if yung mga environmental problems po natin are not properly taken care of. So that would be all for today's discussion. Now let's go and have fun to have sit work time. So get a piece of paper and answer the following questions. Again, take a photo of your answer sheet and check your answers and upload your final score as your photo evidence of the day. So the first question, sobrang konti lang ng mga questions ko right now, no? Para hindi naman kayo mahirapan. So the first question is, it is also known as illness and is due to pollution, and unhealthy lifestyle. What is the answer? Okay, you can pause this video to know the answer. So, sana hindi nyo po ilipat. Anong muna? Sagutan nyo muna. Subukan nyo lang naman. Sagutan nyo. This is the answer. Pause and then answer. Okay, the correct answer is Taran! Disease. So, the correct answer is diseases. Okay? So, it is also known as illness due to pollution and unhealthy lifestyle. Number 2 question. Dishonest as well as illegal behavior that destroys people's trust. What is this? What is your answer? Please pause and then choose the letter of your answer. Meron na ba kayong answer? Pause and then answer. Now I'll be showing the correct answer. The correct answer is corruption. Ayan. So now let's go on the last question. Okay, this is a enumeration or identification. So why natural resources are special and unique? What is the two reason kung bakit si natural resources are special and unique in their own way? Okay, please write the answer. Pause muna and then write the answer. So I hope that you are already done answering. Now let's check the correct answer. So pause nyo muna, magsagot muna kayo. It's up to you if you're going to just copy the answers or not. Nasa inyo yan. I'm just doing this kind of trick to just see if may nag-retain ba sa inyong mga isipan. So, parang self-assessment lang din naman ito. Yun lang naman ang titingnan ko, hindi naman yung scores muna. So, meron naman tayong mga proper quizzes na doon ko ilalagay talaga yung mga questions. So, the correct answer for question number 3 is first, they are finite and they are volatile. So, thank you so much for joining with me on today's discussion. And medyo napahawa na naman ang discussion natin, but I hope that you have still learned, yung mga iba't ibang causes of poverty. So, to sum it up, tingnan po natin yung ating causes of poverty. Ano yung mga causes of poverty natin? Of course, we have una, environment, and then we have economic, and then we have health, and then we have yung ating governance, and lastly, yung demographics po natin. So, that would be all for today's presentation. Okay, thank you for joining my class. If you want to learn another material from my class, don't forget or consider subscribing on our YouTube channel. So, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, class. Please always keep safe. Bye.